picture.
All right, we're going back in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. As always, please share us. Follow us on Facebook, No New Friends Podcast. We're on the Instagram, no.new.friends.podcast, and also our brand new YouTube channel where Mary has gone viral. How does that feel?
It's very weird. I'm going to be honest. The idea that over 10,000 people have stared at my mug is difficult for me to understand. And also, like, I pick apart those things and like I made real dumb faces, and now a bunch of people have seen it.
And that's perfect. And that video is going to make us rich.
I like how you're throwing around this word us a lot.
Well, when you start
you mock
the
my
YouTube,
pain,
then you can collect
you
on the
said
money.
that you were going to do it, and I have a job. I'm very busy.
It was my idea for you to come over and record that day. You were like, I don't understand why you would want to do this, because I know how popular that particular video is.
We have you penciled in for reactions to a plethora of other traumatic
I know.
I'm
going to Google like what reaction videos make for the best YouTube channels or YouTube videos, and I'm going to subject Mary to any movie that is going to get a reaction. Like, I'm thinking of trying to find Two Girls, One Cup and have
No, I've already watched it. It's not going to shock me anymore.
I've never.
Have you seen part 2? Oh, we'll show you part 2.
Oh.
No, I didn't know there was a part 2.
Oh,
I don't like that I know it now, though.
So
I don't want.
Mary's viral is video. Mary's video is
viral. What?
Mary's video is viral, which is super exciting. We're about 8,000 views away from the other video being viral as well. So you may have 2 viral videos on YouTube in the next week.
My parents will be so proud.
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud. And that's
we're gonna make t-shirts. We should make t-shirts of the best faces.
Yes.
Like,
oh my god. No. Like, like the little magnets where it's like, what is your mood today? And it's like happy, sad. We could do one with Mary, like, oh, she's gonna get in, and just excitement. And then Joffrey's dead.
we gotta get it done.
Yeah, that's great. That'll Mary be our merch. First piece of merch.
Mary merch.
Yeah. Mary merch. I like it. Speaking of merch, we are now on Patreon, and the link on a piece of paper in the other room. I've had to move, so just search for No New Friends Podcast on Patreon, and we're going to have some exclusive content that will only be there for our supporters through Patreon. It's going to be really cool. Chris is going to help me navigate through that because I have no idea what I'm doing. So,
and I like to pretend that I do. I just lie to Scott and say I do, and then I just Google everything.
Look, you sounded smart. You sounded.
And then
smart.
I just don't show up. I say I will, and then I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm so busy.
2 minutes before we're supposed to record, just
I had a work thing.
Well, you could have told me 2 hours, because then Chris and I would have recorded an hour earlier.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, listen.
We were up till midnight. You were sound asleep, and we were just on.
100%. Yeah,
I quit my job for this.
I did not.
Oh, so Chris, we were talking on the last episode. I have an original Nintendo.
I was afraid to ask you if you put that out for the yard sale.
Okay, so here's what happened. And remember the story of why I didn't want to put it on the garage sale. I had a bin of like 20 games, and I sold them for $20. This was like 10 years ago. And since that day, I really regretted it. So I've got this Nintendo in the box. It doesn't have the Duck Hunt gun, but it's got
trash. Nobody
everything
wants
else.
It then.
It's got everything else. So this guy comes up, and he's got like a laminated piece of paper, and he says, "Hey, we're building this game room. This is what I'm looking for. Do you have any of it?" And I look, and it says NES. And I said, "Well, here's the deal, man." I said, "I do have an NES."
Okay.
And he's
I like where this is going. I like where this is going so far.
And he's like, "Well, what do you want for it?" And I said, I'm not selling it today. And he's like, "Well, why not?" And I said, "Because honestly, I know they're going for about $150 right now, and I want to test it on eBay first."
Okay.
I'd be more than happy to take down your information, and I'll if I don't sell it, we can work something out. And he goes, "Well, let me ask you a question. How firm are you on that 150?" He's like, "Because I'll offer it to you 75 right now, as is. Don't even care." I really should have sold it for 75 because
you said no.
I said no.
Mary, the box with the styrofoam, just the box with the styrofoam sells for $60.
No way.
Yeah, just the box.
True story.
Yeah. Just the box.
What?
Yeah. So I didn't sell it. Now, like when I opened it, the remotes, the wires are a little bit like kind of they're intact. They're just a little grungy, like
No,
maybe like a little bit of
we'll
mildew or
talk.
whatever. Yeah, I think I can clean it up.
You clean that baby up, you throw it on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Get a little cash deal going. No
Exactly.
fees.
Yep.
No.
But I had to explain to the guy, I said, look, I pulled a Mary. I said, you're a victim of circumstance. I said, I got screwed at a garage sale and 10 years ago, and now I'm not selling my Nintendo at a garage sale.
Never again.
Well, I'm proud of you. I was like, I didn't want to ask you because I was afraid. Like I even zoomed in on the garage sale picture and I was like,
yeah,
all right, doesn't look
it
like
was in the
anything
garage the whole time. I mean, I
has.
did pull it out for him to look at.
I'm just gonna leave it alone. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Pause.
So I couldn't do it without at least testing it.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
You should have sold it. And I'm like, yeah, I think I can, 75 would have been a lot of money for something that honestly was left at a house that I moved into. And it's not even mine.
Oh, but that $150 is going to be yours.
Yeah, exactly.
You basically stole it.
Yeah. So now also on YouTube, that we have a new video, and it's one of my favorites because I've now learned how to use the iMovie function on my iPhone. And so I'm Facebook.
Winter is coming is basically what he's saying.
Right. In my neighborhood, we have a neighborhood group page on Facebook, and I'm Facebook famous on this group page because I get overly excited about the ice cream truck, like ridiculously. I the first time I ever heard it, and it was during the community garage sale last time, because we live in a gated community and the ice cream truck can't get in. Well, during the garage sale, gates open, ice cream truck can get in. So the first time he came in, I went nuts. I ran my fat ass. And the funny story about this is my wife really wanted to do an exercise walk earlier that day. And I'm like, nah, I'm really tired. I don't feel like walking. I hear that MFing ice cream truck, and I'm sprinting in my socks and sandals. Like, Chris, I'm like Usain Bolt, just sprinting down the street. Now, my daughter, who is 8, walks up slowly behind me and says, "Hey, you might want to have some money."
Passes by you. She's like walking slow.
Yeah. She's like,
it's the baton. Yeah, it's the baton switch off.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm Chariots of Fire, but that's how slow I'm actually going. So she gives me money to get ice cream. So since then, anytime I hear Fairlease, I'm like, oh my God, it's the ice cream truck.
It's time.
And I'm always posting things on Facebook about the ice cream truck. So people know now, like if they hear it, they're like, hey, Scott, we think we hear the ice cream truck. So I posted, I said, hey, Saturday's the big day. Ice cream truck is coming. And on Friday night, the ice cream truck was in the neighboring neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, it's coming. So one of the neighbors was like, hey, if you talk to them, set it up, give them the gate code, whatever. So Saturday morning, I post on our Facebook page.
Did you just almost vomit? What just happened?
No. On Saturday morning, I post on the Facebook group. I said the birds are chirping a little bit sweeter. The air smells a little bit cleaner. The stars are shining just that little bit brighter. That can only mean one thing. It's ice cream truck day. I hope everybody left out their garage sale on ice cream truck eve to appease the ice cream truck man.
Now, what viewers at home don't know is that Scott's wife Scott has his drill that he runs a couple times weekly where his wife will play the ice cream song when he's like, just to make sure he's ready. It could be during a nap. It could be in the middle of the night.
It's training.
He's always ready.
It's training. I hear it. I pop up out of bed and we like, she times me as I'm jogging and like
running suicides.
I'm trying to doing suicides. I try to catch the chickens and
he's got weighted ankles.
I've got weighted ankles. She's on the other end of she's got like a parachute as I'm running down, just training. We've got to train. And then the fast draw, how fast I could pull the cash out of my pocket. So
are you like practicing like barreling over children and like kicking them out of the way too to get to the front of the line?
There's obstacles and everything. Yeah.
Okay, great.
That's why I had to cut. That's why I had to learn how to use iMovie. He had to cut a lot of that content out.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been on YouTube.
He'll get an ice cream cone and a charge all in one day.
Exactly. So 3:30 in the afternoon rolls around and they made arrangements for the ice cream truck to just be at the park with us. So we've got this park, ice cream truck comes in. And I was so happy. I go running and I had it on, I was recording it on video because remember, everything is content.
Everything.
I'm recording me running down the street and like kind of weaving in and out of kids. And I'm so excited, but I'm out of breath. And then I realized, oh, it was camera mode. I didn't record anything.
Oh no.
So and also again, remember I've been drinking since 7:30 in the morning and it's now 3:30 in the afternoon.
No, Jesus.
So I mean, there are hundreds of people for this ice cream truck, and our neighborhood's not that big. I'm like, where are all these kids coming from? And you know, I got my ice cream, but in the video, you will hear Abby say, my daughter is that like a twin? He looks just like you.
Oh, I've cloned myself. I successfully cloned myself. So.
Yeah, what just happened?
This was it was just something I've been working on during the pandemic. And,
Cloning yourself?
Yeah. You guys haven't tried?
I got that. Was badass.
I don't
so
understand.
Chris is like the master of backgrounds. And this is now the
hold on, I gotta take a picture.
Oh my, you've gotta be.
Wait, hold on.
This is the segment that is going on Zoom. That's fantastic. Oh my God. Chris is the master of backgrounds. It's unbelievable. When we did Remy's roundtable, I mean, I can't wait for him to throw him out there. But so anyway, to round this story, there we go. That's one of my favorites, the Brady Bunch. He's looking around. So if you're wondering what we're laughing at, make sure you go to our YouTube channel. This segment will be on our YouTube channel, No New Friends Podcast.
Gotta subscribe to unlock
please
the content.
Subscribe. It really helps us out. So to end this story out, because what you're doing is a hell of a lot more entertaining than my story, but I don't remember my story. No, so you know, I get in line. You guys are frozen. God damn.
I know what. It almost looks like he's fist bumping, like.
Oh.
And he's still going. Pause. Oh my gosh.
I don't understand why my internet connection's unstable. I'm plugged in.
I know. Now this is just. Oh wait, I think I saw him blink.
No, he moved and now look.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
No, what was that? That's what it did. Okay, so you got ice cream.
So I got my ice cream, but in the video you can actually hear Abby say, "The ice cream truck's here," and my dad's going crazy.
Well,
so the joy you had,
yeah,
was like.
Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Oh, I was just the joy you had. Like as I watched that video, as it got like deeper and deeper into the video, it just got progressively funnier and funnier until I realized how drunk you were when you asked to take a picture with the ice cream woman.
But I said, did you hear what I said? I said, not all superheroes wear capes.
I don't. Oh.
And I bought an Avengers popsicle with the gumdrop in the middle, and I didn't even eat it.
You didn't eat the ice cream
because then after all the kids got ice cream, it became a giant social event for the adults at the park.
So you couldn't.
No, I was drinking beer. And then I got home and passed out on the couch.
That's a pretty sad. That's a pretty sad ending to the story.
I know. But no, I've got a stockpile of ice cream now that I'm good to go until the next time. I brought a bag and $100 bill, and my wife says, if you fill that bag up or use that $100 bill, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, you froze it. You're a veteran at the ice cream game. I forgot.
Yes.
So, okay. So it didn't melt. It didn't melt. No ice cream popsicles.
No ice cream was harmed in the filming of that video.
Thank goodness. I was worried.
Oh, so Mary, how was your first day at work? Tell us all about this. And I want to hear kind of horror stories of that we've all had at first days of work.
Well, this did not constitute a horror story. It was super cool. I loved my new job a whole lot.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really fun, and everybody's super.
But you're
friendly.
happy, but it's getting in the way of my fun. Because the other day was a beautiful day, and I really wanted to call my best friend and say, "Hey, do you want to go to Universal?" And I'm like, "Oh, she's got a
job now." I know that if it's outside of the hours of 8:30 to 5,
you don't even answer.
I'm open. No, because listen, I'm very busy right now. Like I'm jumping into a whole lot. So
Scott's
is
busy
good.
trying to make plans to go to Universal. He's busy too.
He hasn't even texted me about this Universal plan.
No.
So I feel like you're kind of projecting a little bit. I don't know, but I do love this job, so I'm really enjoying it. The work is fun, or at least I think it is. So that's exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's it's just a different type of stress. I'm used to having people shout at me, and that's not the case.
I'm not
going to
stop shouting at you.
Isn't it weird working in a professional environment? It's like, wow, this is what it's like.
Well, no. So I was talking about that, and I was like, it's so odd that everyone is just so nice, and everybody seems to really enjoy what they do, and that's not something I'm used to.
It's because you left hospitality. Exactly.
I know. I guess
hospitality, where people get treated like human beings.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like I went home on Thursday for an hour for lunch. Like we had a full hour.
Wow.
And I went home.
What a concept.
Yeah, I went home. I walked waffles. I pounded like 10 dino nugs. It was great. And then I went back feeling completely refreshed. So that was nice. But yeah, and we have a break room, kind of, I guess we would call it that. And there's a whole cooler with Diet Coke in it.
Oh,
and
nice.
that was the selling point for me, I think. Like they could have paid me $3 an hour. And I would say, yes, please, where do I sign?
Fair trade-off.
Now, if you go work at Mainline Marketing, and shout out to Mainline Marketing for hooking us up with these microphones, they have a refrigerator full of beer. Did you have beer in your fridge?
I don't think they have a refrigerator full of beer anymore because you cleared it out.
Right.
So there's that. No, we don't have beer in our fridge. We're professionals. Look, we got important things that we're working on. So no drinking on the job.
Gotcha.
That I know of.
Okay. So
yeah. Well, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Awesome. No, I keep going.
No, I mean that's about it. Just everybody's super cool, and I get to dress like an adult, so that makes me happy.
Which has probably been a long time since the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean I've been wearing a lot of stretchy pants. So we have, and honestly, it's needed at this point. Just ask Scott. Apparently, I'm letting myself go, so it's fine.
I'm so happy that this job makes you happy. But another thing that I need to tell you that sucks for me that you got a job is now everybody in my family is like, well, Mary got a job. When are you going to get a job?
Well, it's different. I don't know. It's different.
Because like there's competing siblings. I should just start wearing a referee.
You should.
You should.
You should. Well, I don't usually fight back unless it's something I'm passionate about, like his kid's teeth or just stuff like that.
Now the kid's teeth thing keeps coming up. Now, I'm kind of on your side, Mary, with like he needs to get rid of them, but at the same time, when is the right moment to throw them away? Because the moment you throw them away is the moment like someone calls the police on you and there's some kind of weird thing happens. They search your trash and they find human teeth. That would be my biggest fear.
Or someone throws away a tooth and you have to use a different tooth as a substitute.
Okay, no, that is a good point, and that has happened. That happened most recently. Grayson pulled his tooth out. Like he yanked this thing out. It was not ready. I don't know what this kid was thinking, but he was like, yeah, this is fine. And then he lost it somehow and we could not find it anywhere. Like I searched high and low. Like I don't know what happened. Waffles ate it. I don't know what happened. Mike Reedy came in clutch and had one of Caleb or Addison's old teeth and was like, use this. That's what we're going to put under the pillow. And
I'm glad you
clarified. He was like, oh yeah.
Under the pillow. I'm thinking like, why are you using someone else's
teeth? Oh yeah, I probably should have said under the pillow. Like
like for the tooth fairy. Sense. Yeah. And so that worked out in my favor, but I don't think that typically you should ever keep them. Like they go in the trash as soon as the tooth fairy puts the cash under the pillow, tooth in the trash.
Now you
end of transaction.
Hang on to them. So again, I'm so happy that you're happy with a job, but I was kind of hoping that something would happen to you similar to what happened to me on one of my first days.
Why do you love that? Why do you wish bad things upon me?
Because Mary, this is an adjustment period for me. I mean, I had you.
You're lashing out irrationally now.
Yeah, I had you to myself every day from 9:30 till 2:15, Monday through Friday, to myself, where we could FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
We did FaceTime laundry together, where we folded laundry,
and we did dishes too. Remember that? That was fun.
Yeah. We recorded podcasts at any hour of the day. Some days we did 2 episodes in one day.
It's true. Carline Chronicles, you got like a real live.
I know.
Yeah. Now Scott just texts me like how mad he is that you're not available. He doesn't call me, he doesn't FaceTime me, but he'll just text me complaining that you're not available.
True story.
Well, I'm glad that I'm still relevant, I guess. So what do you wish would have happened to me? Let me know.
I was working at Taco Bell, and we had a class at one of our food. It was our food distributor.
Bell University. Is that where the class was?
Yeah. But it was a class at where our food distributor was. So I showed up to this class, and I don't know which room it's in. So I'm like, hey, I'm here for a training class. And they're like, oh yeah, it's right over there. So I go in, I sit down. I don't recognize anybody. Like, I knew the director of operations, and I thought he was conducting this class. I didn't see him. And so they start and like, I'm a little bit late for this class now, and it's super embarrassing. So I sit down, and then the presentation starts. Welcome to Panera Bread. And I'm like, oh shit, I am in the wrong.
You're like,
class.
hello, I actually do not work for
So I sat there for a little bit because like I was.
You didn't know how to exit.
I know I was already late to this class, and like I could have sworn I was here a half an hour early. So I'm already late to this, Panera Bread treat.
But you weren't late because you weren't supposed to be there. You were actually very early. You hadn't even started your career with Panera yet.
I know. So finally, I finally, when the movie starts, I turn back to the guy that's like running the class, and I'm like,
but
hey.
Also, do you think it's worse that you let it go that long? Like, he was probably like, why is he still here?
I know. So I'm like, hey, I am definitely in the wrong place. I'm with Taco Bell. And he's like, yeah, this is Panera Bread. So
no shit.
Thank you for clarifying.
He stops the movie.
No. Oh, no.
And introduces me to the whole class and says, this is Scott. He's from Taco Bell. And he says, but listen, anytime you want us to breducate you, come on over.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, this is why it makes sense that I was late, but I really wasn't late. I was actually early.
You were early
to my class, and I just showed up late to yours. I'm sorry.
You're just keeping your options open.
Wait, so did
you can see that I'm punctual, so maybe.
Yeah, there you go. There could be something. Did you make it to your class?
Yeah, I was the first one there.
You're like, guys, I've already been to one class today.
Already been to one class.
I'm just gonna.
How bad do you think that guy has been waiting his whole life to say "breducate" to somebody?
Yeah.
He had it.
It's like he was so thankful you were there.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Wait. So.
Any horror stories?
Oh, I have a pretty bad one that's very, very different. So my first job was when we growing up. This was let me think, freshman year of high school, right? My family had a restaurant in like a ghetto mall of sorts. I don't know if you guys have marts down there, but we call them marts around here. It's like
what's a mart?
Like
a corner store?
It's a ghetto mall. So So they were we
like the Magic Mart. No, that's the Magic Market. Never mind.
No, he's talking about like the are they usually like a plaza?
It's like imagine a dark alley, but they put a mall there. Like it's like and it's So anyway, I know the manager there. So my parents were friendly with him, so they needed a replacement for a mascot. So the two mascots that would walk around to I don't even know what the purpose of it was.
Wait a minute.
Chris and I have a lot in common.
I love that you just glazed over two things. The fact that you were a mascot, and two, a mall had a mascot. Like, was it branded? What was it?
No, it didn't add up. And they were obviously knockoff characters. And there was SpongeBob and there was Dora the Explorer.
Oh, God.
So it was me and a good friend of mine. And when my friend was like 2 feet taller than anybody else. So of course, naturally he wanted to be Dora the Explorer. So I'm in SpongeBob and he's a behemoth Dora the Explorer around, right?
She's like, come on, backpack.
And there were no rules. We could do whatever we wanted. I used to carry on a boombox and we'd like, it was if YouTube was like big back then, we would have went viral. Like if social media was around, like it was the most ridiculous thing ever. Anyway, so as if the job wasn't ridiculous enough, it was not in the nicest of neighborhoods. This place, when they put out the rankings of worst places to live in New Jersey, this place is #1 based on like income, crime, and education system. So it's like, beautiful, beautiful section of New Jersey. So I I was part of like, I guess maybe like a gang initiation. I'm a SpongeBob, and I get thrown to the ground by a group of teenagers, and they start just kicking the hell out of me.
No, well, at least
And-
your porous sponge helped protect you.
that was the thing. Joke's on them, because I have 6 inches of padding around all of them. So I'm just sitting in there like just waiting for them to stop. And this like little old lady finally ran away, and this little old lady comes over and says, "Would you like me to call the police?" And I just got up and I was like, it's not necessary. Like, meanwhile, my eye is popping out of the guy.
Don't worry, I absorbed all of the hits.
These were the most ratchet looking costumes. We actually had to, my dad felt so bad for us because of how dingy and dirty these costumes were. He bought like these Chinese Mickey and Minnie Mouse costumes to wear. like the birthday party edition was. And of course, again, my friend runs me Minnie Mouse, so I have plenty of pictures of him wearing a dress.
That's lovely. Was his name Scott Mathey?
And we
How dare
we walked
you?
around.
How dare you?
We walked
There's
around
a
in these
literal video
knockoff
of it.
costumes of Mickey Mouse being 5 foot tall and Minnie being 6'2". Minnie was an absolute unit walking
She was
around
like
in Williamsburg. Oh my
funny.
gosh.
She was mini rat at
It was
that
an
point. She's
interesting-
a full ferret.
It was a very interesting job. And that's like one of the 1,000 stories, unfortunately, that I will never forget.
Oh, that's
Oh
great.
my goodness. I'm trying to think of any like I mean, I have tons of horror stories just from working, but nothing like when I first started working. I've always had relatively good beginning experiences, I think.
Which is a little bit surprising to me, since you being an awkward human being. I just feel like you would walk into an awkward situation on, when you're new at a job.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just didn't pick up that I was being awkward. I'm sure I was awkward. They just weren't awkward in return, I guess.
Right.
So
right. They
I've
had
been-
stories to tell when they got home.
probably, I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm like somewhere in a manager log or like an owner's log. They're like, oh boy, what
Right,
did we do
right.
here? I don't.
I also feel like
yeah.
you guys both worked in hospitality for a very long time, correct?
Yeah.
I
yeah.
feel like after a while, you just get numb to it, because I feel like every day could be a potential horror story.
Yeah, in the hospitality
That's
industry,
true.
every day is a kick in the balls. Like,
Yeah.
from one angle or another, it's a kick in the balls.
You could do like
Yeah.
a 50-part documentary, probably just showcasing your experiences.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
I
Like,
think so.
Leah Remini couldn't hold a candle to the documentary that we could put together. All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, we've got some strange news.
Woohoo.